up, guys? It's me, Do Not Obey, and let's get into another video. Yay! We are in the book, The Navigator Who Crossed the Ice Walls. Now, you know I'll be reading some from the book and some from my notes due to copyright. Now, we are in chapter 13, Arca, I'll throw it on the screen, the Prosperous Captial. After spending that strange night of fire mixed with many theories that we were trying to deduce from Shikai's book, it was a very strange sensation that went from extreme to extreme. To think that we were at a point far away from everything, and we had come to understand from one minute to another that we were the source, that consciousness energy of the ancestral lands that lived in each one of us, and also united us to the ancestral humans and to all those who had lost their lives in each reset, manipulated and hidden. We began to spot birds fluttering around our ship. They were approaching land, we suspected. It could not be confirmed yet with the captain all the way. But the city that awaited us was again Arca, the modern capital of the ancestral lands. The first rain since we arrived in these lands began to fall very slowly. Just when I was beginning to think that in these latitudes there was no such phenomenon. The lights of the city were coming on in the distance. This immense city of Arca was an invitation to imagination and confidence that such a perfect and a peaceful life could be possible also in the dark environment between the ice walls, without the control of the custodians or any intruder race among us. Let's get into these notes, okay? Now, the men approached Amarden Harbor. They were barefoot when they were stepping off the boat into the grass. It was still raining, and William, a.k.a. Morris, felt some sadness, okay, because he knew all of humanity was not going to be able to witness what they were seeing right in front of their eyes. Now, I need to read this page from 75 because it doesn't do it justice with my notes. Even though we had lived through a fierce attack and the most devastating we had ever seen, this immense city gave us the assurance that all would be well, that this could never fall. Millions of ancestors were living their lives as close to what we once dreamed of as children. What we dreamed for future generations, a place of peace and love where there is no pain or suffering, where work does not mean exploitation, where there is no dirty politics or wars for territory or power. No discrimination or stereotypes, no social differences. Everything is shared and happiness is breathed. Welcome to the ancestral lands was heard in the distance, in their own clear language, according to Butler's translation. Now, what was Butler's plan? The men wondered. Butler told them to go explore the city. Remember, there was a voice saying, "Welcome to the ancestral land." So they were already being greeted by some amazing, beautiful stranger of a beautiful human that I wish this realm could be. Lips dry, honey. Okay, so once Butler told them to go explore the city, he also explained to them that they could not trade gold or money for anything there. Because they don't use it. They use a different form of exchange. Now, the plans was still not clear, but Butler was to meet with Fahil. Remember, Fahil has already been introduced, and other leaders. Now, these are other leaders from important lands around their lands, okay? Now, William, a.k.a. Morris, was wandering the city in deep thoughts. Remember, he was still feeling the sadness of everything he was witnessing, the things that he had went through. He feels that they being there kind of started possibly the war on that land. So he's got all this going through his mind. On top of, he had all the information that Shiki gave him in that book. Also, he put on another guilt as well. And I'm just feeling bad for William, for real, because I would feel that way too. Because he's experiencing everything that we could be experiencing right now. He felt guilty because he was not able to do anything to free the millions left behind the walls. Hello, aka us. Okay? Now, let's finish it up in the book. Remember, he's still in the city, sulking and sad and thinking about everything. William, aka Morris. Many hours had passed, and I was walking through the streets of this colorful city. Some few people were crossing my path. I felt their understandable strange look. My way of dressing was not suitable for this modernity. I felt like a caveman, even worse, if I tried to talk to them. So I continued my way, only observing. Would they understand that we were brothers and shared the same suffering? Questions crossed my mind at every step, and a few people I looked deeply in the eyes. One man even tried to talk to me, but I only managed to wave my hands, explaining that I did not understand what he was saying to me or telling me. I only said Fahil, as if to answer a name known to all, and this man pointed to a large building a few blocks away. There were not even puddles of water that accumulated. The whole system was perfectly functioning so that it did not generate any flooding. The modernity hit my face so many times that it was difficult to interpret. I dare not even mention the drawings that came out of the walls that projected humans interpreting the most beautiful melodies that sweetened the ears of passerbys. I returned to the port somewhat crestfallen. I had everything a person needed in front of my eyes. I was before absolute happiness, but the pain of not being able to share it generated an immense sadness in me. I also kept seeing the faces of the people who fell in Renaissance. Butler was returning, driving a modern vehicle. When he saw me, he stopped and invited me to get in. His face transmitted some joy, and then he commented to me, "William, we have not been able to get the Anakim to help us directly. It is understandable, you know. They do not want to risk their entire race again, but I know that they will help us in the long run. We have won this battle, and we do not believe that the custodians will attack these lands again for a long time. We gave them a lesson that our technology is still more alive than ever. They tested us, and I assure you that they came back with fear. We need to do it here." Then he continued explaining to me with some questions that I could ask on our way to the port of El Arca. Apparently, the Guardians were not aware of the technology that had been developing the ancestral lands in the last 100 years. In conjunction with the Anakim race, they thought that this attack would make them directly tremble and possibly surrender immediately, as happened in ancient times in Ashgard and other lands. This had to be taken advantage of in the following years if we were to have a chance to regain the known lands and free the brethren from the last reset. Come back and get us. That's not in the book, sorry. But all should be careful. Any move that is not planned in advance could cause another reset and the death of millions. And there goes my cat scratching, y'all. Sorry about that. He is in the litter box, but that is the end of chapter 13. Y'all, let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys for hanging in here with these series. This is a good book. Go get the book. I'm telling you, it's a good book. It's a book of many. After this, there's more chapters. Like, this is like a trilogy or something. Like, it continues. But yeah, so I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Louis also says hello while he's scratching away his litter box. And like I always say, do not obey. Stay woke. Peace.